keeping the barbarians from the gates.
I got into the labor movement not because I wanted to negotiate wages. I got into the labor movement because I saw it as a vehicle to do massive social change to improve the lots of people.
Let's take these son of a out and give America back to America where we belong. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, the Tea Party can go straight to hell. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your right.
Welcome back to the program. Start of hour number 2 on this Thursday. I'm Brian Summerfield. He is Trucker Randy, and we are your defending fathers. Well, Randy, that was
Me?
Yep, that was quite an hour.
Yeah, well, I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
I made a closing statement that JB responded to, that they all have blood on their hands, and you agreed with that statement. I don't understand, how did Mitt Romney and these Republican congressmen and Republican U.S. senators that supposedly hate this man, Mitch McConnell, the minority leader in the Senate, said numerous times that making Obama a one-term president was their major objective in the Senate. How could they possibly have this information ahead of time before the November 6th election? This happened on September the 11th. They got this information. They knew about this stuff. JB has said right here on this show, they sent it to the Romney campaign. How does Romney and these Republicans have blood on their hands?
I go back to this. And, we've got a congressman in the state of Michigan who is ahead of the department that would have access to all this information.
House Intelligence Committee.
In real time, including the classified ones, which we didn't get a chance to get into this. But, we've been told that the classifieds on this would literally blow this thing up like you would not believe.
So Mike Rogers has seen it.
So why hasn't Mike Rogers, what's he in, the 2nd Congressional District? No, it wouldn't be the second.
Third. Took Pete, I believe, no.
No, third is Justin Amash.
Right. 6th, I'm not sure.
Well, anyways, he's in a congressional district down in the Detroit area, and he took over for Pete Hoekstra on that committee. And again, one of the most influential committees, and I would think, from what I've heard, he seems to be pretty influential in that.
Are you kidding? Every single U.S. congressman in Michigan that I've spoken to, including our Congressman Dan Benishek, say they rely and talk with him directly when it comes to bills like the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act and CISPA and all these, intelligence-type bills that come forward. Mike Rogers' name is the one that I get all the time from these guys, is who they consulted with.
It's like, well, we weren't sure, but, he insists that we really need this bill and it's extremely important.
Right.
So it's passed.
8th District. Mike Rogers is in the middle of the state. 8th District. And
so I would think that him alone would be able to just go, you know what? Here's all the information. Mr. Boehner, we need to investigate right now.
He doesn't even have to go to Boehner. He is the head of the House Intelligence Committee. He can do it on his own. It has to do with national security. He's the man they go to. He doesn't have to get Boehner's permission. And the other thing is, again, I get back to, why did Romney not use this information? If you remember the third debate, it was about foreign policy, and the very first question the moderator asked was about Benghazi. And Mitt Romney ran from it like a little girl. He didn't even want to address the issue. He had these unclassified cables then from J.B. Williams, and he didn't do anything about it in the debate. What, didn't this guy want to win? He didn't want to take this president out?
Well, I guess maybe we could try some of our contacts, or you could try some of your contacts in on that campaign team and see if you can find an answer to that.
Oh, I'm blowing this up on these guys today. We just had a guest that told us they provided you these PDFs. I'm going to give them the actual files and the links to these documents.
Mm-hmm.
I demand an answer from the Romney campaign as to why they didn't use them.
If you've not had a chance yet, we will repost the links on our website today or on our Facebook page.
I'm doing it right now.
And what JB did in his group, they took 120 pages of unclassified cables. And for nothing more than just the fascination of seeing these and to see how it's done and conducted and the information that was out there, and go to the particular days in question. Go find the cables where you can see the ambassador literally calling out for help and pleading for the lives of his staff. Hey, guess what, guys? You know, there's something about ready to explode here. And he didn't just send it to the State Department and the White House. It was an all-out SOS to he sent out a blast to like all of his friends on email saying, you know, hey guys, I don't care what department you're in, we're in trouble here. This thing's ready to explode. It's a powder keg. You know, we need help. SOS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the best that you could give us was hiring a team that is made up of former Al-Qaeda members in other groups that are against us. They're working for a subcontracted patrol unit that is supposed to defend us. And then we didn't talk about this with JB, but you know, there was a story that came out that I read that said that these guys were on strike because they weren't happy with their pay or benefits or something. And so the security unit that they had hired as a subcontractor was on strike. Now, we didn't talk about that with JB, and again, I heard that from another story. But I also read in the cables that there was a dispute amongst pay and other things, I want to say back in July.
Yeah. Well, I just got a comment on Facebook. Could you please post these cables? I'm in the process of doing it. I've got the executive summary brief, which is 5 pages long, which is the synopsis of all these 120 pages. I'm posting that link first, Brian, and then I'm going to post a link directly to the cables themselves, because this information is just shocking when people sit down and read this. If these senators, John McCain and Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, who, by the way, is up for re-election in 2014, I've got a contact down in South Carolina, Tea Party groups down there that want to do what we did up here in Michigan, the Michigan for Conservative Senate thing. They want to duplicate it down in South Carolina to get a primary challenger to take him out. I'm sending him this information. He's a national-wide blogger from South Carolina. This information has got to go viral. We cannot. How is it that these guys are not going to ask these tough questions yesterday when they had a chance to go at Hillary, and they're just going to participate in this cover-up and allow this thing to get shoved under the rug?
Well, here's what we need you to do. Go to Your Defending Fathers Facebook page, and if you've not done it yet, please like it. We'd love to know that you're listening in. Make sure that you go to the link that we've got on Benghazi right now, and it says, please make sure this happens. This is not a red issue or a blue issue. This is a red, white, and blue issue, and we need to know the truth. Call Congress to investigate the classified Benghazi cables now. Click the share button on there, put a personal message out, and let's shoot this out. This is a call to action. If you're a Twitterer, go to my tweet today at B. Summerfield, and it says pretty much the same thing. And there is a Benghazi hashtag on there, as well as another hashtag from Hillary's statement yesterday that Michelle Malkin's trying to get some traction on it as well. Use both of those hashtags, or they're already embedded in there. Just retweet it. Mm-hmm. Between social media, between all of our contacts, between the grassroots, between people that just want to know the truth, let's put the pressure on Congress. Call Congress yourself. Forward the message. Let's flood the switchboard. We want answers on Benghazi, and we want them now.
Real answers, not the stuff they gave us.
Exactly right. We're your defending fathers.
At 106.3 Patriot Voice, we stand behind our country's banner and look to help our fellow citizens band together for liberty. Stand against those who want to control us. Support our liberty and help by putting your business's message on 106.3 Patriot Voice. You'll be amazed at how we can do positive things together. Call me for more information. Greg Marshall at 231-347-4382. Let's do it together. 231-347-4382.
Welcome to the Maya and Miguel Challenge. Meet Maya and the gang.
Oh, hi, I'm Maya.
Maya and her friends want you to get up and play, because it's always more fun to be active.
Let's get started.
Just go to letsmove.gov and look for Maya and Miguel. You'll find tons of fun activities that'll help keep you healthy and active. Whether you play sports, run, dance, or jump in place, just get up and play at least an hour a day. Take the Maya and Miguel Challenge today at letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Montel Williams here for the revolutionary new Living Pure heater. Are you ready for winter? Forecasts are for record cold. That means that your heating bills are going to go right through the roof. That's why you need the Living Pure heater. Now you can stay warm and save money, and you don't have to heat the entire house. The Living Pure heater is a portable 4-in-1 heating system that heats up to 1,000 square feet. It's also a humidifier, an air filter, and an air purifier. The heater is totally safe around kids and pets, plus it's whisper quiet. Take it from me, Montel Williams. Stay warm, save money with the Living Pure heater. Call now and try it risk-free for a full 60 days. Plus, you'll save $300 with our special introductory pricing, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-208-1143. That's 1-800-208-1143. Again, 1-800-208-1143.
I don't believe it. My savings are gone.
Okay, think. Where'd you have them last?
I was home, then I spent them on that vacation in this tiny suit of armor. Now they're gone.
Weird.
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free ideas on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Oh, I broke his little gauntlet.
Oh, no.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first, and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360.
Hi, I'm Al Roker. Let me tell you what's happening in your neck of the woods. Right now, 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are our neighbors, friends, our co-workers, but we can do something about it. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger. and find the local food bank in your community. I'm Al Roker, and together, we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Brian Summerfield. He's Trucker Randy. We're your defending fathers. And we are
already done, Brian. If you go to Your Defending Fathers Facebook page, I got the link to both the executive summary and all 120 pages of the unclassified cables are now on our Facebook page.
Go to Your Defending Fathers Facebook. Please click like and share it. And if you're in other states, please share it. This is a national issue. Call your congressman.
There is a share button there for both the executive summary as well as the cables. So all people have to do is just click share, put it on your timeline, and let's get this information out there. But more importantly, Brian, I think, they all patting each other on the back yesterday and getting their pictures taken with Hillary because she's leaving, and all the Democrats praising her and telling her, we're looking forward to your future political career, what you're planning on doing, hint, hint, wink, wink, about running for president in 2016. This woman cannot be the president of the United States of America after President Obama. This Middle East policy that they're doing over there, like JB said, what the heck? They've orchestrated all of this.
Yes.
This isn't a natural Arab Spring uprising. They're the ones. Why does Obama want to restructure the Middle East? Why does he want to take out these dictators, if you will, and replace them with a Muslim Brotherhood?
Because they have taken over the White House, and that is controlling our foreign policy.
Yeah, and also our national security, because this administration will not allow us to drill for oil and produce our own oil here in the United States. We're completely dependent on the Middle East for our oil. I believe 80% of it. This has got to stop. We need to blow this up.
Well, here's a contentious moment in yesterday's hearing. I'm going to play it so that you can hear it, and then I'll segue it to something else that you will know really well.
When you read the ARB, it strikes me as how certain the people were that the attack started at 9:40 Benghazi time. When was the first time you spoke to, or have you ever spoken to the returnees, the evacuees? Did you personally speak to those folks?
I've spoken to one of them, but I waited until after the ARB had done its investigation because I did not want there to be anybody raising any issue that I had spoken to anyone before the ARB conducted its investigation.
How many people were evacuated from Libya?
Well, the numbers are a little bit hard to pin down because of our other friends, approximately 25 to 30.
Did anybody in the State Department talk to those folks very shortly afterwards?
There was discussion going on afterwards, but once the investigation started, the FBI spoke to them before we spoke to them. And so other than our people in Tripoli, which I think you're talking about Washington, right?
Yeah, the point I'm making is a very simple phone call to these individuals I think would have ascertained immediately that there was no protest prior to this. I mean, this attack started at 9:40 p.m. Benghazi time, and it was an assault. And I appreciate the fact that you called it an assault. But, I mean, I'm going back to then Ambassador Rice, 5 days later, going to the Sunday shows, and what I would say purposefully misleading the American public.
Well,
why wasn't that known? And, again, I appreciate the fact of the transparency of this hearing, but why weren't we transparent at that point in time?
Well, first of all, Senator, I would say that once the assault happened and once we got our people rescued and out, our most immediate concern was, number one, taking care of their injuries. As I said, I still have a DS agent at Walter Reed seriously injured. Getting them into Frankfurt, Ramstein to get taken care of. The FBI going over immediately to start talking to them. We did not think it was appropriate for us to talk to them before the FBI conducted their interviews. So, and we did not, I think this is accurate, sir. I certainly did not know of any reports that contradicted the IC talking points at the time that Ambassador Rice went on the TV shows. And, you know, I just want to say that, you know, people have accused Ambassador Rice and the administration of, you know, misleading Americans. I can say, trying to be in the middle of this and understanding what was going on, nothing could be further from the truth. Was information developing? Was the situation fluid? Would we reach conclusions later that weren't reached initially? And I appreciate
Madam Secretary, do you disagree with me that a simple phone call to those evacuees to determine what happened wouldn't have ascertained immediately that there was no protest? I mean, that was a piece of information that could have been easily obtained.
Well, but Senator,
within hours, if not days.
Senator, you know, when you're in these positions, the last thing you want to do is interfere with any other process going on.
I realize that's a good excuse.
Number two, well, no, it's the fact. Number two, I would recommend highly you read both what the ARB said about it and the classified ARB, because even today there are questions being raised. Now, we have no doubt they were terrorists, they were militants, they attacked us, they killed our people. But what was going on and why they were doing what they were doing?
No. Again, we were misled that there were supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make? It is our job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator. Now, honestly, I will do my best to answer your questions about this, but the fact is that people were trying in real time to get to the best information. The IC has a process, I understand, going.
Okay, I played a little bit more than I should have, but I wanted to make sure that you had that in real time, without any cuts, without any selective editing. And in here, I put it almost to, and the Emmy Award for best, actress goes to. And doesn't it remind you?
Okay, but the bottom line is this: what difference does it make?
Yeah, let me play one more thing, because this is her moment that relates to this.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
That is her Miss Lewinsky moment. Right there. We got a call on the line. I'm coming close to a break. You've got 30 seconds. I'll hold you over after the break.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm really angry with this whole thing. It just ticks me off, and I just tried to call John Boehner's office. His voicemail box is full. Really ticks me off. Tried to call Harry Reid. You press 1 to talk to him, hangs up on you. This is just disgusting, and I'm really angry about this.
Mike Rogers is the one we need to call from the 8th Congressional District. I'm going to get his phone number here, post it on our Facebook page. We'll announce it after the break, but that's a great point. Phone calls have got to be made.
Phone calls, emails. Stick around. We got more to come. We're your defending fathers.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. John Kerry is not expected to face the kind of questions that greeted Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton yesterday as he goes before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee today for a hearing on his nomination to succeed Clinton. Kerry is chairman of the committee. Mrs. Clinton yesterday sparred with senators when they were concerned about her handling of the situation in Benghazi, Libya. A sharp drop in Apple stock sending the NASDAQ composite lower in early trading on Wall Street after the electronics giant predicted slower sales. Employers appear to be cutting fewer jobs. The government says the number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits fell last week to the lowest level in 5 years. Economist Jennifer Lee of BMO Capital Markets calls it encouraging news. State lawmakers in Rhode Island prepare to debate and vote on legislation that would allow homosexual couples to marry. More details at srnnews.com.
No doubt, Nancy was the brightest star in the growing company. If you had any doubt, just ask her. I think you get the picture. And no, but these opposites are especially attractive and winning in the high calling of our daily work.
Learn more at the...
Here's your 106.3 Patriot Voice forecast for the remainder of the morning hours. No showers, a low temperature rain this morning of -2. Later on today, partly cloudy with a high of 14. Then that temperature holds pretty steady overnight as we have snow and a low of 14. For tomorrow, snow with a high of 21. Saturday, clear, fog early with a high of 27 degrees. And for Sunday, overcast, fog early with a high of 28. That's your forecast. This is 106.3 Patriot Voice.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking to me.
Kids will spend 10 minutes copying everything their sibling says.
You're such a doofus.
You're such a doofus.
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Mom!
A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Health insurance is on everybody's mind right now. You either don't have it, or you have it and you think it's too expensive. And you probably feel like you don't have any options. We can help. We are InSphere Insurance Solutions. We offer health insurance plans from major carriers nationwide and likely have a plan that can save you money. Whether you're self-employed, on a COBRA plan that's about to expire, or you simply don't have health insurance where you work and you need it, InSphere Insurance Solutions can help you. Our agents will help you find coverage you can afford. InSphere Insurance Solutions is an authorized agency in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Plans may not be available in all states.
Call now, 800-394-6717. 800-394-6717. 800-394-6717. That's 800-394-6717.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
This is Brian Summerfield and Trucker Randy, your defending fathers on 106.3 Patriot Voice.
Welcome back to the program. Randy, I don't know if you've ever, what your night was like last night, but last night thinking about this show, knowing we had JB coming on in the first hour, and all the information from the cables, from the summaries, from just the news we've been following, plus the testimony of Hillary yesterday, I couldn't fall asleep last night. I literally prayed myself to sleep.
Well, prayer is good, but action is better.
Mm-hmm.
During the break, I just talked to Mary Randolph, the legislative aide in Mike Rogers' office.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is not expecting these calls. His switchboard is not being blown up like Boehner and Reed's. This is the guy who's the head of the House Intelligence Committee. And articles of impeachment of this president need to begin in the House. And the best committee to start this investigation up based on this information is going to be Mike Rogers' House Intelligence Committee.
And what's his number, 202?
Yeah, all of Washington, D.C. area codes are 202. And most of the congressmen begin 225. And his extension is 4872. Mary Randolph. Just spoke to her. I also got her email address, Brian. I told her I was going to forward her this executive summary and these unclassified cables. We want him to see these. I want his eyeballs on these. And she promised that she would make sure she forwarded to him. 202 is Washington, D.C. 225-4872. Call Congressman Mike Rogers. He's not expecting this. If we can blow up his phone lines this morning, this would be a huge call to action for our people to do because they're not expecting it. They think Benghazi's over and done with. Hillary's testimony yesterday put an end to it. You guys can keep talking about it all you want, but this is a dead issue. It's over and done with. Hillary testified. It's done. No, it's not.
She testified under oath that she did not know. I can't believe it.
She did not know, nor did she see any live stream anywhere, okay, from a drone, okay, that was obviously a lie. We want to know who's seen it. More importantly, your comment there was so pure with JB.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Who made the call to not send in help from Italy an hour away? Those other, the response team that was, what did he say, 2 hours away?
Yep.
This thing went on for 7 hours. I want to know who the person is that said stand down. Was it Hillary or was it Obama?
Our best trained military men in the world were left behind and uncovered because our commander-in-chief is, unfit for the job in the role that he's currently serving in.
Well, more importantly, if they're behind all of this stuff going on in the Middle East and the Muslim Brotherhood taking over leadership, I mean, we're talking the guys that are running those countries now. Then on top of it, we're giving them 20 F-16s and Abrams tanks. Okay.
Oh, wait a second! You're totally you're onto something. Not only has the Muslim Brotherhood taken over the leadership in Libya and in Egypt, have they also taken over the leadership in the United States?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Caller, you're on the line. Mark, I thanks so much for hanging out through the break. Go ahead and enlighten us.
Yeah, no problem. You know what? The other thing, too, is you're talking about the Muslim Brotherhood. Shoot, they were in and out of the White House, 225 times or some ridiculous number like that? They were the next highest group that was in and out of the White House. It's really aggravating. It's scary. It's disgusting. Last night, their actions, putting women into full combat mode, is just another way to knock down society and cause all sorts of problems and issues. And I'm fed up. I am fed up with these guys. I'm ready for pitchforks and torches.
Doug, I added you to the phone call. I'm going to try to join it in with Randy. You're live right now. What do you want to add to it?
Well, I just wanted to share that I did watch Hillary's testimony yesterday. One of the questioners, I don't recall if it was a House rep or a senator, point blank asked her about guns being run into Turkey. And that was one time where she looked like she did not know what to say. And I think J.B. Williams, who the listeners may not know, but he's one of our greatest fighting military intelligence type men too. He's onto something with the gun running, just like they ran the guns into Mexico. This is so much more. And it's both parties, I'm afraid to say. And like he said, the Republicans have blood on their hands. And there are some very good Republicans, don't get me wrong. And they are speaking out and saying what needs to be said. But the leadership is refusing to set up this investigative commission. And that goes right to John Boehner, Eric Cantor, and the rest of the leadership. And why isn't Dan Benishek speaking out on that?
Well, we're going to try to talk to him earlier. Mark, you're still on. Go ahead. Hold on for a second there, Doug.
Yeah, he's right. It makes Fast and Furious look like, child's play. This Benghazi thing, it's Fast and Furious on steroids.
You're right. That's what we've heard. And And so, we're trying to make sure that we get the word out. I mean, if we were mad about Fast and Furious. How much madder should we be about this, that it's on steroids?
This has got to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Has to be. Because, this is just ridiculous.
I agree.
If this was a Republican president, the left would be jumping off of buildings and jumping up and down and screaming, and they would have had a panel by now of judges, and they'd be having hearings, and it'd be a zoo for them trying to run over each other to try to prosecute the Republican president.
And again, I get back to it. This is not a red issue or a blue issue. This is a red, white, and blue issue. And for us guys that were in the military, I cannot believe that there is not every single person that has in their hand a DD-214 that isn't calling their representative and saying, how come you're not on this? This is just reprehensible, and yet, we are not seeing you guys in action.
That's right. Exactly right. And it's just, to me, this is just incredible, and nobody will do anything about it. And we know she's lying through her teeth. We've got the documents to prove it. They brought it up in the hearings that she was lying.
Mark, I disagree with you. Okay, if we get on Mike Rogers and we get on our local congressman in the House and start making phone calls to him that this Benghazi thing is not over. You guys, that little dog and pony show you guys put on yesterday, okay, was for your own benefit. Now we, the people, want the truth. We want the answers. And if these people lied and there was a cover-up, okay, about this whole thing. There was rumors out there that Obama was going to have these guys orchestrated to take Stevens hostage, and that he was going to negotiate the release of Stevens for the blind sheikh, so that he could look like a big negotiator with the terrorists and work this all out for political gain, whether it was guns that they were trying to recover, and that's why Stevens was there. They armed the rebels. You heard J.B. Williams say they gave the guns to the rebels to take Gaddafi out. Well, you know what happened? Those rebels that were loyal to Obama lost the weapons. They were taken by Al-Qaeda, and those are the weapons that were used against our own consulate. It was our bullets that killed those guys.
Amen.
So, anyways, it's
blow up, man. This is not going to be done if we sit on our hands and don't do anything with it. But we got to call our congressman and tell him not good enough. What that dog and pony show did yesterday is not good enough for us.
No. Any other points you want to make, Mark?
No, except that this president, Hillary Clinton, and these other jokers like Leon Panetta and Susan Rice, they all need to be gone.
All four of them. All four of them should be charged for treason. I agree with you. Thanks for calling, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Unbelievable, Brian.
So what we played before the break, I think is the most damning testimony of what happened yesterday, as far as her fully admitting under oath that she did not know what was going on. Now, is she that incompetent in her job? What many hailed when she was the first lady as the smartest woman on the face of the earth.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I think if this was actually a situation that Obama and his administration put together, maybe they wanted her to have plausible deniability. With her not knowing that this stuff was going on behind her back, she gets 1.4 million cables a year at the State Department addressed to her. Okay, I'm complaining about 600 emails a day. Yeah. Okay, 1.4 million, she can't read all that. So maybe it was purposely to keep her out of the loop so that she could claim, I didn't know about it.
Well, I think the other thing that she did, too, and I think you made this comment yesterday when we were talking, that, with her background, and again, she's a lawyer. She's got a law background. She's very well educated, and a very crafty and smart woman. You don't get to where she's at by dumb luck.
Right.
And let's face it, for a lot of people feel that she's not the one that grabbed onto Bill's coattails. Bill was holding on to her pantsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you look at this, how long did she have to push this out till she knew all of the evidence that the other side had so that she could craft the responses that she needed to have? And when she lost it at that point in time is when she got off her script.
Yeah. Well, Rob Johnson, Senator Johnson, ticked her off so bad she lost it. She definitely got off script.
And it does matter. It does matter about what happened, why it happened, what led up to what happened, because it shows without a shadow of a doubt, like JB said, don't just take a look at what the left hand. When you take a look at the big picture and look at both hands, what happened in Benghazi is this will be and should be probably the biggest story in our decade.
Yes.
Just like Watergate was the biggest story in that decade.
Absolutely. This is worse than Watergate, Brian, because in Watergate, nobody died. 4 Americans died under Benghazi Gate, and it's got to get blown up.
The only thing
I'm
that can
posting
happen...
the link right now on Your Defending Fathers for Mike Rogers and his phone number. Again, 202-225-4872. I'm posting it on our page right now.
And again, it can only happen if we get involved. If we get off the couch and do something, one voice isn't going to make a difference. Many voices can bring down a wall. Stick around. We're Your Defending Fathers.
Hi, I'm Greg Marshall. If your professional background is in sales, 106.3 Patriot Voice Radio may have an opportunity for you. All it takes is passion and knowledge of sales to make an impact, and that impact could be you. Consider talking to us about joining 106.3 Patriot Voice Radio. Call 989-745-5581 and ask for me, Greg Marshall, 989-745-5581 for more information. Let's grow together.
PatriotVoice.us.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Take care, Grandma.
Okay, baby. Don't forget to let me know the second you get there.
Yes, ma'am.
My grandson always tells me I worry about him too much. And of course I do. I'm his grandma. Well, I was worried sick when he came home from Afghanistan. He came back wounded. It wasn't a wound you could see. It was a wound inside. Post-traumatic stress disorder. My T couldn't sleep. He was angry all the time. He felt like he didn't fit in anywhere. Then I heard about this group, Wounded Warrior Project. People helping warriors like T. So I figured who better to help my grandson than people who could understand what he'd been through. Now, I don't know what they do there, but my T is smiling again. So I figured they must be good people.
1 out of every 5 warriors return from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder. Help support them at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Whether it's a serious fall, fire danger, or other type of home emergency, Life Alert is there for you. The company, with its slogan, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up," protects its members. Here are some of them.
When you have a heart attack like I did, and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me.
Having a secure feeling through Life Alert is ideal.
My independence is possible because of it.
Now, Life Alert can also protect you in a fire emergency with a system that automatically notifies our monitoring center.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-814-0825. That's 1-800-814-0825. Call now, 1-800-814-0825. For a free brochure, call 1-800-814-0825. 1-800-814-0825.
Good news, everyone. Lumber Liquidators wants to send you a free catalog of hardwood flooring options. Call 877-219-8793. See how you could buy the highest quality flooring for the lowest possible prices. Here's what some of our customers have to say.
I've installed a lot of hardwood floors, but this is the best bang for the buck.
Call in the next 10 minutes to get your free catalog.
I love Lumber Liquidators. I got quality products for less, and the online ordering was easy.
At Lumber Liquidators, we buy direct from the mills, and we pass the savings on to you. Call right now and get the floor guide and catalog absolutely free. It has hundreds of top quality flooring such as solid hardwoods, laminates, bamboos, and even Bellawood pre-finished flooring with a transferable 100-year warranty. Our catalog is full of tips, ideas, and our flooring project list to help you find the right floor for you. Call 877-219-8793 and get your free catalog. 877-219-8793. That's 877-219-8793.
This is a referral service. Calls will be routed to an independent referral insurance agency.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. I'm talking to anyone with or without a pre-existing medical condition. A health insurance hotline has now been established to provide health insurance for all Americans, even uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call now for a free, no-obligation quote on affordable health plans available to you. 1-800-690-7490. I repeat, this is a hotline providing free quotes for affordable health plans. It's for anyone without health insurance, even if you have pre-existing conditions. Medical costs are the #1 cause of bankruptcy and financial distress. All uninsured Americans are strongly urged to call this national health insurance hotline right away to protect yourself and your family from an unexpected variety of medical costs that could cause financial hardship. Call the health insurance hotline right now for a free quote at 1-800-690-7490. That's 1-800-690-7490. Call 1-800-690-7490.
Welcome back to the program. Final segment of this hour. When I don't have enough time to get into it.
Well, I got comments on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, go.
During the break, R.L. Bain, our field reporter down Monroe, was listening to the show this morning, and he said that he started posting J.B. Williams' website from the North American Law Center, the one he gave us to contact him by. Somebody evidently complained as abusive his postings of JB's website, and he's just been shut down on Facebook.
Wow.
They've suspended him from posting JB's website. I got another comment, Priscilla Miller, defending mother over in Eldon, Michigan, listening to the show. Some congressmen said they wouldn't vote on Kerry's nomination to be confirmed for Secretary of State until they got the real answers on Benghazi. His hearing starts today.
Yeah.
Yeah, today. So the Benghazi's under the rug. We're all done. They got their answers. So now we're going to go ahead and just slam dunk John Kerry through. Got another comment. Give us Dan Benishek's number in Washington. They want to call him right now and get him involved in this with Mike Rogers. Congressman Benishek's Washington office, 202 is the area code for Washington, 225. His extension, 4735. So again, 202-225-4735. Blow up Congressman Benishek's switchboard right now, listeners in northern Michigan. We want the truth on Benghazi. What we got yesterday was a dog and pony show. That simple. Mike Rogers, House Intelligence Committee, should immediately form a select hearing committee to get into the truth in these classified cables that Mike Rogers and these guys have access to. You got to be on the right committees, Brian, because that top security clearance to put your eyes on those classified documents, you can't just be anybody in Washington. You got to be on a committee, and Mike Rogers could do it.
And Justin Amash is on the committee with ISA from California that's supposed to be on this committee, so he would be one that you could call as well. I've got a Facebook comment as well. Randy's naive if he thinks Rodgers and Benishek will get anything done. You're dreaming. Well, I have this to say. I'm just a country kid that grew up in northern Michigan. Every day I'm living a dream. So, yes, I'm dreaming.
Yeah. Well, here's the point, though, commenter, and I just need to say this. Nobody is putting the heat of the light on these guys. If you and other listeners call your congressman and call Mike Rogers as the head of the House Intelligence Committee and say what we got yesterday was a load of crap and we're not buying it and we want the truth, once they feel that there's heat being put onto them, that we're onto this con that they put on with Hillary and, the only two senators I thought that even gave her a little bit of a problem was Rob Johnson there that you played the clip earlier and Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky.
Yeah, I've got Paul's
Everybody
clip
else
here.
asked her nothing but a bunch of softballs.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We're not buying it, guys. That dog and pony show that you ran by the American people yesterday isn't good enough. So get on the phone. Stop making comments saying that we're living a dream. Put some pressure on these guys. Make your voice heard, and then they have to deal with it. If they get 200 phone calls, do you know how much they think in their mindset that number extrapolates out to people that are concerned about it? 10,000. 200 phone calls means that 10,000 people know about this issue. That's how they break it down. If they get 5 phone calls, then they figure it out that, well, maybe 200 people are upset. You get 200 phone calls on an issue, that's huge.
I think there's at least 200 people listening to this broadcast right now.
Right.
There's probably more than 200 just listening in Onaway alone.
Right. So we're going to go to a break here in a little bit. You said, did you have another comment on Facebook?
No, I don't have another comment, but when we come back, we're going to get to a story that talks about where they really missed the point, and that will even reiterate your point that this was a softball interview for the most part, and that they missed the boat on some of these answers. So Stick around, so much more to come. Final hour after the break, we are your Defending Fathers.